Welcome back to a new season of Travel Tuesday with Teresa. And we're kicking it off with a hidden gem in the Mediterranean. This destination has 8,000 years of intriguing history with some of the world's oldest temples, beautiful beaches, and a thriving nightlife. Join me as we discover Malta.
Welcome to Travel Tuesday with Teresa, the ultimate source of wanderlust inspiration. Join the journey led by your host, Teresa Belcher.
Welcome back. This episode I'm really excited about because I have clients interested in going to this destination and it's having a moment right now. My guest today is Michelle Buttigieg from Visit Malta in the New York office. Welcome to the show, Michelle.
Thank you so much, Teresa, for having me. Always
Yeah.
an honor to be here.
Great. Well, like I said, you guys are having a moment. Malta is in all my travel trade magazines. You just did a ribbon cut for your new office in New York last week, I believe, right?
We have, yes. I mean, our office technically opened 11 years ago, so our presence here on the side of the pond opened 11 years ago. And we've been running and being in front of the trade and the consumer, obviously. But I think the travel is looking for that off the beaten path destination, and Malta is that exotic spot in the Mediterranean.
So if anyone's watching and you've been to Europe and you're running out of locations to go to, this is the episode to watch. So it's over to you, Michelle.
Welcome to Destination Malta. We always like to start, for those that don't know where we are. We are a republic, part of the EU, and we are 58 miles south of the shores of Sicily, with just about 500,000 inhabitants, and the area is 216 kilometers square. Saying all of that, you cannot think of the size. The size is basically irrelevant. The history that it's in Malta makes it a very intense destination. So I'm going to play a little video. So as I said, we are 58 miles south of the shores of Sicily, putting us right in the middle of the Mediterranean. Easy access to any major hub in Europe, but also, as Teresa said, all the stars aligned over the last couple of weeks, and Delta has just announced a non-stop flight from JFK starting June 2026. So we're very excited about that. And apart from that direct flight in June, Malta is easy access to any major hub in Europe. So we have daily flights from all the major hubs. As I said, we're about 500,000 inhabitants on the island. Very mild winters, beautiful 300 days of sunshine, a part of the EU. And we have two official languages. One is English, which is great for Americans and Canadians that will travel to Malta, easy communications. But we also have our own beautiful language, which is Maltese. And people often ask, what is Maltese? Well, Maltese is a semi-Semitic language, and it's derived from Aramaic, Arabic, infused with a lot of Latin. So it's a very unique to its location, and we're very proud of that language. Connections, as I said, we have daily flights from our international airport. These are airlines that fly into Malta, so you have a lot of um, choices. And once arriving into Malta International Airport, we have a VIP terminal for those luxury clients or for those that like to make use of such service. We're also accessible, and you'll find us in a lot of itineraries, in a lot of the cruise ships, specifically the small luxury cruise ships like Seabourn and Four Seasons. You'll find us as the city of Valletta. Our port is Valletta. Choosing Malta. Well, history and culture, as Teresa mentioned, we do have 8,000 years of history. What does that mean? Well, we have civilizations that scholars don't know much about. So we have the first, as you see, first settlers. We have temples that are about 1,500 years older than Stonehenge and the pyramids of Giza. These civilizations worshipped goddesses, as one should, in particular the goddess of fertility. So there's a lot of mystery in our temples, and we have seven of those. One of which is subterranean. I always suggest to get tickets beforehand because it's to get down to the subterranean temple of Hypogeum. It's 12 people at a time. So I always suggest to go to the Heritage Malta sites and try to get tickets beforehand. But then of course, I'm not going to go through the 8,000 years of history, but just to give you an idea, because it's important for us to talk about history because it's still very visible. And that's the unique thing about Malta. Every civilization that passed through has left a footprint on the islands that is still very visible, whether it's in the buildings that you're seeing, whether it's in the streets that you're walking into, whether it's traditions that we have, what we look like, what we speak. So that is still very like living like a local while you're there. Obviously, the Knights of Malta were with us for over 200 years, leaving us some of the most beautiful medieval cities. We are also the islands of St. Paul. St. Paul was shipwrecked on his way to Rome and gave us the new religion back then. And of course, the Knights of Malta to the British colony, all the way to the European Union. Valletta, our capital city, is a UNESCO site. They could not choose a corner of it. The whole city is a UNESCO site. Built by the knights, back then saying, built by gentlemen for gentlemen. The city is full of auberges, palazzos, churches, narrow streets, beautiful restaurants, thriving bars and jazz bars, stores, shopping possibilities. So the city itself is really full of adventure. This is the Co-Cathedral of St. John that houses the only signed Caravaggio painting in the world. Caravaggio never signed his painting, and the painting of Caravaggio that is found here is the only one that's signed. But again, these churches are one more beautiful than the other. And even if you're not the type that would want to go to churches, these are definitely worth seeing. The archipelago consists of three islands. You have the main island of Malta, a small island in the middle, Camino, surrounded by blue lagoons, and then the sister island of Gozo. Gozo is more rural. For the New Yorkers around me, I always say it's like the Hamptons. So it's more rural, with beautiful villas and great properties to stay at, and a little bit more adventure. But still, we have the oldest megalithic temple on Gozo called Gigantia, and there's a lot to see. The fortified little city of Rabat, Victoria. So it's definitely a lot to see while you're there. A little bit talking a little, I want to talk a little bit about what to do in the different niche markets that Malta attracts. We're very lucky because we attract a lot of different niche markets, having so much charm around us. And one of them is diving. Always voted one of the top three destinations for diving. We have clear visibility in the water, and there's as much to see down there as to see on land. We have shipwrecks that dates back to the Phoenicians. World War II, obviously, we were one of the most bombarded countries in World War II, being that we were part of the British colony. So you still find and see a lot of these ships that are shipwrecked underneath the water. Of course, we are surrounded by beautiful blue waters. This is on the island of Camino, where you can go for a day trip or for snorkeling, lunch. You can stop on the islands, or you can, just visit by boats. Great for soft adventure, being that we are an all year round destination. The weather is, the sun's always shining. So no matter when you want to go, there's always something to do. As I said, we are a destination for religious pilgrimages, being that we are the islands of St. Paul. We have over 350 churches. So again, you might not want to see churches, but this is a real must. And we also have a Jewish heritage trail for those that are interested. Great for wellness, apart from having spectacular sites where one could do a yoga or meditate. We also have a lot of hotels with a lot of spas. So that's definitely and again, because of our temples, the temples are actually very popular for the summer and winter solstice. Of course, with so much history comes a rich culture, right? So what do we eat? Our cuisine is very rich. It depicts all the civilizations that passed through, plus. We love to eat. We'll eat when we're happy. We eat when we're sad. We're always outside. So you're definitely going to have a really great experience when it comes to culinary. Whether eating in a Michelin star restaurant, in a piazza with the locals, whether savoring our pastizzi, which is our flaky snack filled with peas or cheese, or having lunch or dinner on a vineyard and pairing it with local cuisine. So the cuisine side of it is definitely very rich. Beautiful properties all around the islands, whether five-star hotels, four-star hotels, bigger hotel chains, Westin, Hilton, Marriott, leading hotels, preferred hotels, to the smaller boutique hotels. The boutique hotels have been really popular because it's palazzos, historic palazzos that have been converted into small luxury boutique hotels. And I love that. You're kind of living in history. And what do one see and buy when you're in Malta, right? We're famous for our lace, a trade that the Knights of Malta have given us. A lot of ladies are still able to do the lace. I mean, you can definitely buy a piece while you're there. Filigree jewelry, wine, olive oil. So there's definitely something to get while you are there. We also have, being that we are an all year round destination, we have a full calendar of events. So I would suggest that before you come, you check our website, Visit Malta website, calendar, and put your dates in there and see what is going on. Whether it's Festas in the summer, or Strawberry Festival, or Carnival, beautiful firework festival, arts, the music. We have a 300-year-old theater, the Manuel Theater, which hosts the Baroque Festival and many other events. So please do check before you come to see. We're also a famous location for film. So for those set jetters out there, Malta has been the backdrop for a lot of the blockbusters, Gladiator 1 and 2, to say the least. Game of Thrones first season, King's Landing was in Malta. So there's definitely a lot. There's tours that you can take to see where all these movies were filmed. So again, just why Malta? Ease of communication, easy access to any major hub in Europe, and a direct flight starting in June. Short transfer time, so while you are there, you can really do a lot. An itinerary can be very full. And we're an all year round destination. We are famous for our hospitality. Welcoming people is embedded in our DNA. So we're famous for hospitality, and we are off that beaten path European destination. As we say in Maltese, grazie, and grazie, Teresa, for having me.
Well, that's great. I'm glad you were able to join us today. And if anyone is watching and you're inspired to go to Malta, you can do a land vacation or a cruise. You guys are known for cruising right now, but I'm sure as the years progress, it's going to explode into a land vacation. So if anyone is interested in going to Malta, please reach out to me. I will leave my contact information below. And until next time, if you can dream it, we will create it. Bye. Bye, Michelle.
Bye, Teresa. Thank you for having me.